What's good, everybody? It's Terry the Electrician here, and you are listening to or watching Boss Talk with Terry. And tonight, I have my favorite power couple. Two of the most influential entrepreneurs that I know.
Thank you.
They have agreed to bless us with their presence on the show tonight. And with that, I'm going to give you the credit psychologist and America's #1 credit coach, Marvin and Gloria Smith.
Hey, how y'all
Hello,
doing?
everyone. Hello.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Terry. This is a pleasure.
Oh man, this is the bomb. This is the bomb. So you guys have done some really amazing things in the realm of credit coaching and credit repair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Including writing this.
That's right.
#1 bestseller.
That's right. That's right.
The Psychology of Credit.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears right there.
So speaking of that, what was that process like?
Man, this is funny. This is like one of our funniest stories. So it was a friend of mine that came over the house on Thanksgiving. I'll never forget this story. It was crazy. And Gloria and I were entertaining at our house. Mm-hmm. And somewhere like the middle of the night, I think, it was Thanksgiving, right after dinner. Mm-hmm. And he kind of caught the lull in the night. And he said, "Hey, y'all, I got a book. And I need y'all to support me and buy my book." And the whole room stopped.
Most definitely.
Like literally the whole room stopped. And he said, "I need y'all to support my book." Everybody started pulling out money, paid for the book. And I just said, like, it was that night or the next day. I think it was both, that night and the next day. I said, "Babe, did you see how everybody just stopped what they were doing because he said he was the author?" And they bought the book.
Most definitely. He captured the whole audience. Like, all the attention was on him. Like, wow, you wrote a book, tell us how you did it. And, what is your book about? And, so he most definitely captivated our whole audience. Took over the whole Thanksgiving dinner.
The whole Thanksgiving dinner. So I said, "Babe, after this," I said, "we got to write a book." I think I whispered that night, "We got to write a book."
Yeah.
And then I think it was a few days later, it was a workshop that came to Atlanta about how to become an author.
So what happens is when you speak of something, your phone hears you, and then guess what? It becomes a part of your timeline. Yeah. So it's in your timeline, and you're like, "Hey, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I want to do."
Right.
So,
and we went to the workshop. It was a Friday night, Saturday, and a Sunday.
3 days.
Yeah. And I was like, "Babe, this is great." And then we saw one of our clients there. And I was like, "Wow, this is nice." And the guy was giving out great pointers. And then myself and the speaker had a lot in common. So that just made it even worse. I was like, "Oh man, this guy, we got so much in common."
Yeah.
And Gloria, you didn't feel well.
I didn't feel well. So I was there Friday night.
Right.
I did Saturday.
I think you did Saturday and you didn't feel good Sunday.
And I didn't feel good Sunday.
And so of course they started, going in for the close on late Saturday, early Sunday. And I said, "Babe, can you meet me for lunch? You gotta come hear this," because they went over their program and their pitch on how they help you write the book, become the expert, all of this. And I said, "Babe, can you please come up here? Because I can't make this decision without you."
Yeah, he was like, "I can't do this. My wife has to approve."
Yeah. I was like, "My wife has got to be here."
So,
I know that feeling.
Right.
He asked me to come for lunch. I didn't know I was being trapped into making a decision, but he asked me to come. He was like, "Well, can you just please come for lunch? I feel bad that you feel bad. I know you were down the last couple of days, but come out, have lunch, and we can watch the rest of this, you know, presentation. And I'm like, okay, let me get up and get dressed. I said, okay, give me about an hour. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So I showed up.
Right.
And then they really had to close me.
Yeah.
They really had to close me.
She didn't feel good. And, you know, they were asking for money. And so I was like, babe.
A lot of money.
Yeah, I said, look, I said, if you'd have heard the whole presentation, I said, it made so much sense. They're going to pretty much hold our hand, walk us through it. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, the salesperson I was dealing with, I said, look, you got to talk to Gloria. And I said, I'm on board. You know, I said, if she's on board, let's do it. And so Gloria was like, you know, like, all right, let's do it. And we did it. And we made a large commitment.
Most definitely. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah. So writing a book is not easy, you know, coming up with the chapters, what you would like to write about.
Right.
You know, we wanted to make sure that what we presented to the world or to our audience was something that can most definitely be beneficial to them. Right. We didn't want to just be the author of a book just to write a book. Right. You know, we wanted to give back, you know, something. So if you're going to purchase our book, you're going to get some knowledge. You're going to get some good information. Yeah. You're going to get something that you can take away from something that you purchased. So that was really important to Marvin and I. So it was a lot of work.
Yeah, but it took us about a year and a half.
It took us about a year and a half,
but it was worth it. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, we went back and forth. We were like so serious about it. They gave us the title and we didn't like it.
Yeah, because they help you every step of the way.
Yeah.
The color, the title, everything. The subtitle. Yeah. So it was a very enlightening experience.
Yeah. And I think for the most part, we're really proud of it. Yeah. And I think, you know, in any area of expertise or a niche, you know, I would suggest everybody take the time, you know, if you don't write but just one book, do at least one in your lifetime, because I truly believe something they told us, and that's that everybody has a story in them, you know, and we all got a God-given gift. We just got to, you know, spend these years to figure out what it is.
Yeah, mine's coming.
Yes.
Hey, I think
already got the title. I already got the title. It's coming.
Hey, that's it.
And you know, Terry, it feels so great when you're giving back. You know, that is something that I think is instilled in each and every one of us.
Yeah.
You know, the gift of giving. It's just all about if you would like to use it or if you're going to not use it.
Yeah.
But I think we all have the gift to give, because that's what God, you know, instilled in us. But giving back for Marvin and I is it's an amazing fulfillment, you know, and I know that it's really important to you to give back and to pour into, you know, others' lives to help them get from point A to point B, which it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Most definitely. You know, speaking of giving back, what you guys do, man, look. You guys have, let me form this and put this in a question.
Okay.
How does it feel to have directly been a part of changing the lives, I mean, literally changing the lives of so many people?
Wow. I'll let you go on that one, babe.
Well, you know, it's so funny because Marvin and I, we talk about this all the time, you know, and, you know, Marvin has this little statement that he makes all the time. And that's, if you help others get what they want, it's so easy for you to get what you want.
Yeah.
So it's just a great feeling for us because, like, you know, Terry, you know me from when I owned the JR Crickets. That was the first restaurant I owned. I came from corporate America and wanted to start my own business, wanted to branch out there and become an entrepreneur, which a lot of people want to do, but they don't know where to start. They don't, you know, they may not have the expertise. So, you know, I just stepped out on faith, and I know what it's like to be in a position where you lose something.
Yeah.
You know, because you didn't have the knowledge, or you didn't have the funds, or you just didn't have the good foundation that you needed, Or you may have started with a great foundation like I did, and I didn't know enough about business to maintain.
Yeah.
You know, so we know what it's like to be in that position. So that's why it's so important to us. You know, I went through depression and, you know, like I couldn't pay my bills. I went through all of those things by stepping out on my dreams, you know, trying to, you know, figure it out and say, hey, I can do this. And then when it all crumbled and fell apart, I didn't have anywhere to turn.
Right.
So that's why Marvin and I love what we do, because we try to give people a safe place, a safe platform to say, hey, you deserve a second chance. You can do this. You know, all you have to do is follow what we ask you to do, put in the work, and guess what? You can turn your life around. So it makes us feel good. And we talk about this a lot, that we're able to pour into people and let them know, you know, you don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay in this where you are. You can change that.
Yeah, and like my story is, you know, my mother taught me a lot about credit, like so much that I thought everybody else knew the same thing that I knew. And I just told a story last night. Like I kind of, you know, I started my own business in 19, and I was in a bubble because my mother worked at a book publishing company. I worked there also during high school in the work study program. And so she had me reading these books every time I got in trouble, and I got in trouble a lot. So I had to read all these books, but I grew up thinking, okay, everybody knows back then what a C corporation was, because that was the big thing then, a C corporation. So I'm like, everybody knows what this is. Every business owner knows what an EIN number is. And we're talking 1989, 1990. She's making me learn this stuff, money market accounts, all of this. She added me as an authorized user on her credit card is how I started my credit. So I have to always say, like Gloria said, I had a great beginning, but then it was like the knowledge that I had only went so far.
Right.
And then I started making mistakes, you know, because I didn't know about gross and net. You know, all I knew is, hey, I made this much money. I didn't realize this was the bottom line way down here somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
After everybody got their cut, taxes, all of that. And I ended up losing my first business, and I didn't want to file bankruptcy. And I had to understand that, okay, my lawyer kept telling me, my attorney at the time, you can work your way out of this. You can, you know, settle with the creditors and pay your way out. Right. And I'm like, man, I'm broke. What are you talking about? I don't have no money. I'm like, do you go to jail for this kind of stuff?
Right.
Debtor's prison.
Right.
Over that, thankfully.
Right. Like, and I was glad to know that. And so, you know, I had to realize that this is where, like Gloria said, you get the hard knocks and the financial education. And then you have to learn how to, like Gloria says all the time, you got to learn how to take your power back.
Most definitely.
You know, even though I felt powerless, because at that time, my identity was attached to my title as a person and my credit. And I lost my title, which is my business, and I lost my credit. So it was like, you know, you start to lose your self-esteem.
Most definitely.
And, you know, I think half of what Gloria and I do is kind of help people first get confident in themselves again. Remember when they were a winner, we always say, and then learn how to take that power back, and then learn that the consumer laws are actually in your favor.
Most definitely.
As a consumer, if you know how to use it. And, you know, one thing people are really afraid of, and we empower them to do, is if you get the knock at the door, the ring on your telephone, answer it.
Most definitely.
And then communicate with the creditors and learn what your rights are, and then figure out how to fight back.
Yeah, it's all about that mindset, setting you up with the right mindset. We try to pour that into you, because, you know, it's just that little missing piece is changing your mindset. And, you know, Marvin and I walk that walk. So it's easy for us to, you know, speak up on it. And we tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, I get up and put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you are.
Yeah.
I have issues and problems just like you do. What you're going through, I may have been through it already. You know, Marvin may have been through it. So what we're talking about and what we're speaking on is from life experiences, you know, things that we've been through and challenges that we were able to overcome, and we can show you how to overcome those challenges as well.
Right.
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, they say, well, if you ain't been tested, you ain't got no testimony.
I know that's right. Yes.
I like that.
I like it.
I like that.
You know, and I could speak from experience too. I remember standing in my garage at the house one day, and this woman walking up the driveway. I'm like, who is this? She walks up. She says, "Oh, you Terry Henry?" I said, "Yes." She says, "You've been served."
Right. There you go. Yeah.
I was clueless. I had no idea what the world was going on. She said, "You've been served." I was being sued by one of my suppliers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? So I ended up filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Right.
In the early 2000s.
Right.
Shortly after I started my business.
Yeah.
It was, you talk about mindset. My mind was gone because I didn't have no idea what was going on. You know, most of my adult life, my credit was shot.
Right.
I mean, because I was clueless. You know, I knew that I needed credit for certain things. And like I said, I was given credit for the business early on because I developed these relationships with these suppliers by going back and forth to these different supply houses when I was working for somebody. So the reps got to know me. So when I came in there and I had my business, it was an easy walk. Like, yeah, man, you know, boom, it set me up. And me not knowing how to handle credit, not knowing how to run a business, it was a lot of learning curve.
A lot.
That followed me forever. You know, I thought my credit wasn't gonna never be.
What they say, knowledge is power, and it's just all about, you know, that's why we try to set our platform up, and we, you know, we talk every day on live. You know, we try to give people the knowledge that they need to be successful, because knowledge is everything. It's something that could be so small that can be holding you back, and you can just click on, you know, the light may be off and you just maybe just need to click that switch, and guess what? Your whole life could change just by clicking the switch, you know?
Definitely.
So knowledge is power.
Most definitely, most definitely. So I want to fast forward a little bit. I mean, you mentioned, Gloria, about the JR Crickets, and I remember when we was working on your current restaurant, we was doing some finishing touches. I think I was in there on the lift. I think maybe hanging some lights or something. And you came in, you had some people with you, and then you stopped me and we was talking, and you mentioned about the JR Crickets, because prior to that we didn't even realize that we knew each other.
Right.
It was weird. It was like, whoa. When I heard JR Crickets and you said when the area was located, I said, hold up. I wired that restaurant. She said, that was you. I was like, because that was like 15 some years ago, or prior to, you know, that time, which and now it's been 3 years since we did your current place. So time is like moving.
Yes, it is.
The funny thing about that restaurant, about that particular scenario, is Marvin. Marvin I will never forget the day that he first came on the site. Me, you, Pete, and Marvin.
Right.
It was mainly me, you, and Pete.
Right. Because I didn't say much.
And I was checking him out. I was like, okay, he's just really cool. I mean, he was like, I was really kind of nonchalant. But I didn't know until later, because me and him done had a conversation about this since.
Right.
Would you wanna just kind of explain what was going through your mind at the time?
Yeah, like the funny thing is, you know, Gloria she has a passion for restaurants. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to do it, you know, because we're doing a virtual business, you know, with credit. And then she wanted a brick and mortar. And I'm like, babe, are you sure? And then she still is learning, you know, a lot about me. We both came from divorces, and we met like almost 7.5 years ago. And long story short, I've been a general contractor in 3 states. I've been in construction from 19 to, I would say, the present, because I still doodle around with it. And she had no clue of this. She heard about it, but she had never known how much I really know about construction. And so she kept telling me how you were cool and Pete was super cool. And I was like, all right, let me meet him. And so I've always learned I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So when I went in there, I wanted to listen more than I talk, because I know what I know. You guys at the time didn't know what I knew. And so I wanted I wanted to keep it that way. Yeah. And so when I listened to Pete, and then when you taught me a lot about electricity, even to this day. I mean, you know, we didn't put up LED walls, and you taught me about daytime lights and all kinds of stuff. So after I listened to both of y'all, you know, got a chance to, you know, feel you guys' energy and stuff. And I was like, babe, I said, I think it's going to be good. I said, these guys are really about their business. I know a lot, but I didn't want to go in there talking about what I knew. I wanted to know what you guys knew. And I felt very, very comfortable with you guys. And then you ended up helping Gloria out with the landlord. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, like you always talk about the benefits we gave. I think about the benefits that you guys gave us with the restaurant.
Most definitely. Because Marvin, when we got home, he was like, babe, you did good. Like I had already showed him what Pete, you know, his proposal, everything. And Marvin, I was like, so what do you think, Marvin? You know, he was like, yeah, I think you should go ahead and hire him, Gloria. Just go ahead and go with it. And then when I walk in there, I'll be able to tell you. He said, I'm gonna watch. He said, I'm gonna watch though. And I said, okay. So then when he met you guys, he was like, oh yeah, that was a good choice.
Yeah. Super cool. Both of y'all, you and Pete were like rock stars, man.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to talk me into doing another one. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, I really did enjoy that process.
Yeah.
As long as I've been doing this, you know, I can count how many jobs, how many projects that I've done that I really enjoyed doing.
Right.
You know what I mean, and that was definitely one of them. That was definitely one of them. It was a super challenge. It wasn't, you know, naturally it wasn't my first restaurant. It was about my third or fourth, actually.
Right.
And but it was a super challenge. All with the inspections,
man,
building with the it was a trip. I mean, it was a trip.
And just to give your audience a small clue, it was rocks on the ground. I mean, we're not talking a real foundation.
We're talking gravel.
We're talking gravel and steel in the ceiling.
It was a raw space. It was a raw space. Yep.
Very raw.
So it was crazy. Out, and you guys did an amazing job. But what's so funny, it took us a year to build that out almost. Just because of the different inspections, and they are really tough in this county that we're in, and just because of the inspection and everything, it was a really long journey, but you guys did an amazing job, and the restaurant is vibrant and doing amazing.
Cafe Social House, y'all, in Atlanta, Mapleton, Georgia.
Cafe Social House, Mapleton, Georgia, Veterans Memorial Parkway. Make sure you look. It's the bomb.
The bomb.
You want to try the Marvin's wings? Just
that's it. And the new lamb chops is popping too. That's y'all been holding out on the brother. I ain't talking about the new lamb chops. That was my favorite food. Yeah, them new lamb chops are popping. I had them the other day before we left Georgia. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go by there and do that and take on, try that out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go partake.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, Marvin, we was talking the other day, and you mentioned something about a car getting repossessed.
Oh yeah.
At the church.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that story I was sharing with Terry was one of my lowest moments with credit. You know, I had $1 million company in the late 90s, and the company ended up, going under 99. So 2000, I started over flipping houses and got pretty good at it. Never had my credit all the way straight, but I got good at it. Ended up probably about 2005, 2006, got my credit straight. Pay the guy to teach me about the business. And in between there somewhere, I had bought a 2000. Well, I know what the year is because the name of the year of the car. So later on, I got my credit straight. 2010, I got a Challenger. Then I got divorced. So in the middle of the divorce, of course, my credit went bad because me and my ex-wife argued and all kinds of stuff.
Like, let me say this. The key point is he got a divorce.
Yeah.
Life happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Divorces always lead to some type of financial disruption.
Exactly. Okay. And the recession didn't help.
Yeah.
So a combination of both of those, moved to Atlanta. So I was like, all right, let me get my life right. I don't got no wife, you know, arguing with my ex-wife. Let me go to church. So I went to church. Won't say the name of the church. And in service, and church is so big, you got to catch a bus to get to the church where your car is. And my car is like I always call it a Smurf blue, almost a little bit lighter than your shirt, Terry. It's a real noticeable blue. And so I'm coming back on the bus and I'm looking for my car, like, where is my car? But normally you can see my car like 2 blocks away.
Most definitely.
And so my car is gone. As soon as I get off the bus, the repo company calls me, Mr. Smith, we got your car. And in order to get it back, first it's Sunday. You know, you can't send no wire transfer or get your car back on a Sunday. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to get a ride home. So I get a ride over to the, the repo lot. And I was like, man, look, I need what's in the trunk because crazy as I was at that time and disorganized and disheveled, the money was in the trunk. The money was in the trunk. So I said, look, man, I need my belongings out of this trunk. And they'll give you that, but they won't give you the car.
Yeah. I've had to deal with that.
Yeah. So I got the money back, but I had to wait till Monday in order to process it into either a wire transfer or certified funds. And I told the guy, I said, look, man, don't scratch my car. Don't mess with my wheels or anything on it because I'm going to sue you because I'm coming to get my car back. So anyway, I think it all worked out by Tuesday. Came back and the guy looked at me and he said, man, you know what? I got a lot of respect for you. I was like, why? He said, do you know how many times I hear I'm coming to get my car back? He said, I hear this every day, all day. But he said, you're like the only person that did it, you know? And I got probably 10 more stories like that during my journey with credit and losing things where I tell people this all the time, our clients. I said, at the end of the day, you should pay your bills or you should settle with creditors if you can. Let me preface that by saying if you can, because some instances in life are way too extreme, too high, medical bills, you know, a death in the family, whatever. It can't get out of control where you can't. But I was like, ultimately, we all want to pay back our creditors. And if you can, settle with them or pay them, because I want to say, like Gloria always says, taking your power back and being able to win that battle, it makes you feel good. Guess what? I still got that car to this day.
That's what's up.
It rides good. It looks good.
After all that, I mean, why not?
Right. After all that, because people like Marvin, you done had Range Rovers, Aston Martins, Mercedes. Why do you keep this car? I said, man, we got a story. I said, me and that car got a story. And it's not really about the car, but it's more about, I felt like, you know, I had got a new car, I lost it, I got it back. It was more like a triumph or winning something back, and made me feel like I got my power back.
That was part of your journey.
Yeah, it was.
That car is a part of your journey.
It is, because it's still here.
Yeah. And we love Old Blue. She's amazing. Right. She's amazing. I love her. She's paid for. We own her.
And she's still moving on.
That's what's up. So speaking of, you know, dealing with the creditors and paying all your debts and everything like this, you know, we've had so many conversations about credit and other things. I remember a lot of things, you know, you said, but I remember you saying, I think it was on one of your Instagram lives, you was talking about how people will ask you, is this a scam?
Yeah,
I remember one of your replies was, you didn't pay your debts and you worried about if I'm gonna scam you or something to that effect.
Right,
and,
right.
I thought that was like the best. I'm like, mic drop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. What happened, man? Everybody talks about that video. What happened? Gloria and I were taking a trip on a private jet, and I had just got fed up with we're trying our best to help people.
Most definitely.
And we have to defend ourselves. I mean, majority of the day, like literally the majority from the time we get on the phones to the time we get off, we're defending ourselves, telling people that we're trying to help them. And so one day I did my Stephen A, I guess you'll call it. I went on a rant, and I said, okay, I listen to people. I say, okay, you want to know if we're a scam? Are we with the BBB? Is it really your company? Are these employees yours?
Yes.
They ask us all these questions. And so finally, I said this to one guy, actually. It was a real conversation that I just repeated it on that video. And I told the guy, I said, now, you're done? I said, did I answer all your questions? He said, yeah. I said, but you the one didn't pay your house note. I said, looking at your credit, you didn't pay your car note, your child support, and your utility bill. I said, the things that are dear to people, you didn't pay, but you calling me the scam. I said, you might be the scam. And the guy was like, you know what? He said, Marvin, you made me think. He said, you were right. When you look at my credit report, I did look a little fraudulent,
And we look at credit reports all the time, and they tell a story.
Yeah.
It tells a story. Something has happened in your life, whether you've been through a bad divorce, you lost your job, maybe you got sick, or your parents got sick, or you had to use your credit. Whatever the case may be, it's just like, that doesn't mean you don't deserve a second chance.
True.
But one thing that we do try to let our clients know, credit repair is not debt elimination.
Yeah.
It's not debt elimination. That's not what credit repair is.
Right. Good. Great.
That's
great.
Right there.
Yeah.
Bars.
Yes.
Curtis Presley, I know you watching this. Bars.
Right.
Yes.
That's it, man. That is it.
Yes.
But yeah, because and then too, you got that element. You got a lot of people out there that went out there and racked up all that debt, and they just want to get away from it.
Yeah.
It's reality.
Yeah,
and it all the way up. It's reality.
Yeah.
But I can say that like when by the time we met, Marvin, I had, as you know, I had been working on my credit.
Yeah.
By the time I met you, I was like almost there. I was like almost at that 700. And I remember, I remember the boot camp that y'all was doing at the time. That might have been the first one.
Yeah, it was.
Being at the boot camp and going through the boot, man, I learned so freaking much in that boot camp. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're going to do another live one coming up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Gloria just talked it up.
Really?
Today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it going to be here?
Well, we're debating on the location, but yeah, we definitely said we're going to do something live.
Well, if you're going to do one and it ain't going to be here, you're going to have to do another one.
Right.
Because I want to be in the house.
Exactly. You'll be first on the list to know.
Exactly.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, but I remember in the boot camp, we was talking, and we was talking about, credit, building the credit back up and everything. And I remember at that time, I had got my credit at a pretty decent point, and I had started working on my wife's credit because she had no credit. One that she had bad credit, she just didn't use credit.
Right.
Which is just as bad as that bad credit from what I understand. So I started working on her credit, and there was something I was getting ready to do, and I mentioned it in class, and you said, "Don't do that."
Right.
You said, "Don't do that." You said, "Put her on one of your card. Put her on as an authorized user."
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Brother, let me tell you, I did that. Her credit went higher than mine.
Yeah. And we call it piggybacking, authorized user. Adding somebody, like that's actually how we got our kids' credit started. All of our kids, usually between 12 and 14, we added them to either our credit cards, or we had
them add each other.
Yeah, we had them add each other and got their scores up. And we got, I know 2 of our daughters right now, less than 22 years old, they have $25,000 limits.
On one card.
On one card.
Wow.
Each one of them.
Wow.
And so we've been teaching them from, like we said, 12 to 14 years old that, hey, you got to be disciplined. And we're teaching them to be responsible. Like one of our daughters, I know for sure, she'll do, gas, food, and she'll pay it off within a week.
Most definitely.
She's got a $25,000 limit, 20 years old, and probably only carries a $300 balance.
Yep.
That's balls. That's balling right there. That's real boss shit. And just so y'all know, I do use 4-letter words on my show. I ain't gonna say every other word, but every now and then want to come out, and I gotta say it. That's some boss shit right there.
Yeah.
This is boss talk. This is real business, real people spitting real shit.
Yeah.
So that was definitely some of that right there.
Yeah. And so, we try our best to teach them that, hey, once you graduate college, because we got one about to graduate college probably in the next month. So we're going to have 2 college graduates, 2 in college. And we try to teach them that once you become an adult and graduate, you got to take care of yourself. You got to, if you want a car loan, you're going to get it, not me.
Exactly.
If you want to get an apartment or a house, we're going to set you up with all the tools to be successful. That's one of Gloria's favorite lines. We're going to give them the tools to be successful. Now it's up to them what they do with it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So I guess the next thing would be, how the pandemic / lockdown really had an impact on people with their credit and the credit industry.
Right.
We had some conversations around that. Unfortunately, a lot of people lost their jobs, lost their businesses, lost their homes. But at the same time, it was an opportunity for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, let's kind of dig into that a little bit, because for me personally, 2020 was my best year in business.
Yeah.
Up until now, because this year is much better.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was that way for a lot of people. And I think the pandemic, with us all being on lockdown, it gave people the opportunity to think about their finances, to go over their finances, to try to come up with ways to, maybe some people maybe a few people lost their jobs. Some people went into a different industry.
Yeah.
So it just made you, our business skyrocketed during that time because people were at home, because people started saying, hey, it's time for me to take charge. A lot of times we use excuses why we can't get something done, or I can't get my credit done because I don't have the time. I work too much. I do. But with the lockdown, what's your excuse?
Right.
There were no excuses besides I may not have the money. But we had such affordable payment plans until it just went crazy.
Yeah. And like even Gloria, she took advantage of helping people get the government SBA money.
Yeah.
Like I was totally focused on credit, but she was like, no, babe, you got to look at this. And we just had this conversation literally about 2 days ago. It was things that I read in the late 90s, early 2000s that are happening right now.
Most definitely.
We heard about forgivable loans. I thought, like, I'm going to go with you, Tim. I thought that shit was a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying? I thought, like, there's no such thing. The government doesn't do forgivable loans. I just don't believe it. Or maybe it happened in the 60s and I wasn't alive. I don't know. And now to actually see it happening, I was telling Gloria, I said, I read about things like this, but to actually see it happen, like they're now saying that the EIDL may be forgivable.
Yeah. They may come
like
out with that.
Like along with the PPP, they may forgive the loans.
Most definitely.
And then I just read an article where they forgave, what was it? 300,000 people's student loans. I mean, this is stuff that's unprecedented and unheard of, but it's actually happening.
Most definitely.
Because the world went into a whole pandemic.
Yeah.
So well, they should forgive them, and for other reasons. We'll talk about that offline, but
right.
I want the episode to stay on YouTube for as long as it can. They might snatch it down.
Right.
You know, they ain't ready for all the truth. We're just gonna get a little bit.
A little bit. But like you said, I mean, one statement I want to say, you know, it was two different worlds that we saw. You know, for some people, it was the best year in business. They say it was more millionaires made in business than some stat. I don't know the exact stat, but it was a lot of business that skyrocketed.
Most definitely.
And then on the other hand, it was a lot of people that were laid off, couldn't work, unemployed.
A lot of places closed.
Yeah, a lot of businesses closed.
Oh yeah.
The pandemic, you know, and you know, I think some places closed because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Because the money was there.
That's why it was so important to me. You know, like Marvin was like, oh my gosh, I was on every conference call. I was on webinars. You know, like Marvin and I, we do this, excuse me, but there's a lot that goes into what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we take classes. We have to constantly study,
right.
You know, so because things change every day.
Yeah.
You know, laws change, you know, so we have to really put a lot of time into what we do, you know, so that we can give you good, accurate information. So I was on a lot of webinars. I was even on a call with all of the banks.
Yeah.
You know, the bank, I was on with the banks.
Attorneys.
I'll
never forget that call. There was a lot of people on that call.
Yeah, for, you know, talking about the SBA and trying, you know, they were lost too. It was like the whole country, the government rolled everything out, but everyone was lost. They didn't even know how to implement it.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it's still money on the table. It's still money on the table right now. It's still money on the table. I had a close colleague of mine, he ended up getting somewhere near $500,000.
Most definitely. Unsecured. Wow.
Yeah, $500,000. So, you know, the money is definitely out there. It's just a matter of, you know, like Gloria said, being able to implement the money.
Most definitely.
And being able to, you know, like I always say, it's like having a combination to a safe. You know, it's just being able to figure out the combination. And if they forgive it, I mean, this is going to be unprecedented for real.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
One of the issues that I've seen, and that, you know, from researching and studying, you know, about all the PPP loans and the EIDLs, is a lot of businesses, a lot of small didn't have their affairs, and they hadn't have their affairs in order. A lot of the paperwork wasn't straight. A lot of the businesses wasn't even legit, you know, didn't have their LLCs or their S corps or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, a lot of people out here call themselves doing business are not really doing business.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That is
and
true.
That's one of the things, you know, that I personally want to kind of address, you know what I mean? And to kind of bring people up to speed on really how to do business, how to do real business. Because it's not that hard to create a legitimate entity and do real business.
And we just had this talk today.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna over the next few months, we're gonna finally roll out you know, a business credit program, because actually we have more experience in business credit than we do personal credit. But for the lack of, like Gloria said, financial literacy, we focus so much on personal credit, because even though you get business credit, you still may have to personally guarantee, because like you said, lack of knowledge. Maybe you didn't do your taxes, or maybe you didn't do your taxes right if you did it. You might have done your taxes, but then you wrote everything off and it looks like you made $20,000 a year, but you want a $300,000 house. It's like, you know,
that's
something's not adding up right. You know, so we just had a whole lunch today with one of our business colleagues, and we were talking about, we're really going to roll out a business credit program and help people, you know, get to the point where they understand that if you got business credit and personal credit, I wish I had one more
game.
and one more hand. If you had your taxes done right, that's when you kill the game.
It's game over.
Business credit, personal credit, taxes, game over.
You know, and we actually were helping people with, probably was that 2018? We were helping
2018.
people create their business entity. We were helping them raise their capital for their business. Like, we were doing this back in 2018, but then the money dried up. But guess what? It's back now.
Yeah, because of the SBA. Everybody's really thinking about business credit because of the SBA.
Most definitely.
You know, it's like you'll hear the words small business. So you're thinking, wow, I need to get a business. So it's like they're planting the seed. And now I bet you, you know, come next year, it's going to be, and this happened to me probably, what was that? Almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I started really in the business credit realm and business funding.
Yep.
It's coming back. It's about time that it came back. And I'm telling you, when they throw out this business money, which they've already done it, but I'm saying the banks are going to support it as well.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, and like you said, Terry, if you set the business up right, properly, that's the key. You can say, hey, I got a business, but if it's not documented, I'm sorry, you're really not in business. You're a sole proprietor.
Exactly. And the businesses that really did thrive through last year were number one was service-related businesses.
Yeah.
Service-related businesses, particularly that catered to business to consumer.
Yep.
And homeowners. Because like you said, Mark, everybody was at home.
Right.
So with my business being classified as essential, you know, one of the essential businesses, I never missed a beat.
Right.
Because at the beginning of last year, matter of fact, the same month they announced the lockdowns, I switched my entire business model.
Wow. Great.
From construction-based to service-based.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Great timing. Yeah,
that was amazing.
And it wasn't even a plan. It was like, you know, it was just like, I need to do something different with my business right now because this current business model is driving me crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I said I'm not doing another restaurant. Sorry, I'm not.
Right.
Squires is kept. You know, this is going to drop. This is going to drop next week. So Squires is kept. I'm putting all my customers on notice. I already told one of my biggest customers today, 2022 is going to be the end of me strapping on tools.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
It is what it is. After 34 years in the trade and 20 plus years in the business, this whole man ready to put the tools up.
Hey, as you should.
I got a whole nother calling right now. So, you know, that's what's up. You know what I mean? But so let's you know, first of all, let's put your information out there where they can kind of get in contact with you guys. Put your social information out there. I think we're gonna have a link in the description for them to, you know, to get their free credit analysis or however y'all do it. You know, we'll have a link in the description for them to get that. But put your social information out there so people can know how to get in contact with you and look you guys up.
Well, definitely follow Gloria at Gloria Smith 678 on Instagram. And then my Instagram is Marvin Smith 678. Facebook, Marvin Smith. Facebook, Gloria Smith. Also, you can go to our website if you want a free credit analysis, and that's dkrgroupfunding.com. And that's dkrgroupfunding.com. And you can give us a call if you want for a free credit analysis, and that's 770-578-4165. You can call 24 hours a day. We have a 24-hour answering service.
Yes.
And we offer, like Terry was saying, we offer a free credit analysis. What we want to do is give you a picture of your credit, good, bad, and future.
Most definitely. And it's an 8 to 10 page credit analysis. And what we do is we look at your credit. And then what we do is we give you an 8 to 10 page analysis that tell you where you are. And if you do certain things, where your score could be. So make sure that you contact us if you want that free credit analysis. It's absolutely free. Only thing you have to do is pay for your credit monitoring. We're not going to pay for that.
Right.
So you have to invest in yourself by paying for your credit monitoring. That's the only thing that we ask. But give us a call. We'll give you all the steps that you need, show you what you need to do. We have affordable monthly payment plans. We're not these other companies. So Google us, look us up, and you're going to get a lot of good testimonies about us.
Yep. And mainly what we do is we help you fix your credit so that you can fund your dreams.
Most definitely.
You know, that's what it's all about. Like I joke with people all the time. You are not trying to fix your credit. You want to buy something. Okay.
Right. Right.
Let's keep it 100. You are trying to buy something,
right,
or upgrade your lifestyle. That's why you want your credit.
Most definitely.
So, but either way, you know, we got the people that want to fix their credit or keep their credit at a certain level. We can help you with that. We got our book, The Psychology of Credit. We got an audio book, ebook, physical book. There you go. Terry's got it. And, you know, we even got chapters in there to teach your kids how to, you know, teach you how to teach your kids how to start their credit.
Most definitely.
And, you know, like Gloria said, the main thing, there you go. The main thing.
I got to highlight it, don't you?
That's it. I see it. That's it. That's it. You know, and the main thing, you know, we really truly feel this way is we want you to help you fix your credit so that you can fund your dreams. Because if you learn how to strategically use your credit, not to stunt, not to keep up with the Joneses,
right,
but if you use it as leverage to help you get more, and then actually you're spending less.
Most definitely.
So now you can save some money for the future.
On interest rates.
Yeah, but you can still have some of the things that you want as you move along.
Most definitely.
Awesome, awesome. So we definitely gonna have to have you guys on again. So the next time we'll get more into the business credit portion of it.
Definitely.
The title of this is Personal and Business Credit for Entrepreneurs. But we, you know, on the next go round, like we're gonna dig a little bit more into the business credit part of it, and more so of the lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because when you got good credit, you got options.
You got a lot of options.
You know what I'm saying? You got options, and options equal freedom.
It does.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, they say money can't buy happiness, but I'll be damned if it can't buy freedom.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and in closing, you know, like right now, and Terry knows this, you know, we sold our house in Atlanta and now we live in Puerto Rico. You know, it was a dream of both of ours. I think Gloria wanted to buy an island. We're still working on that one. But I wanted to live on one. And we both kind of brought those, you know, two worlds together. And now we live on an island. And man, it's, you know,
amazing.
Yeah, we're pinching ourselves every day. Like, can you believe it? Like it's palm trees outside.
Right.
You know?
In our front yard.
Yeah, in our front yard. Exactly.
Yep, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, guys, I really, really appreciate you coming on, giving us your time.
All right. Thank you.
Like I said, we always gonna stay connected, and we're definitely gonna have you guys back on. So until the next time, guys, we will see you when we see you.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.